Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I really do hope that Ricky is not one of those housemates that we've seen before on the Big Brother Naija show who will go into the diary room and nag and nag and nag, and out of the diary room will talk and talk and talk big about, oh, when I unleash, oh, this week I'm going to show myself, oh, this week I am going to, I'm going to begin to show my true colors, my true self, right? I really do hope that it's not one of those housemates who, after bragging and talking big and making big promises, he leaves us hanging, leaves us high and dry. Because was it not last week Wednesday, during the welcome dinner, during the game that the housemates were instructed to play, that Ricky had actually made this promise that in this new week, in fact, I think he even said moving forward, that his true self will come out. Was it not last week Wednesday? This is how many days later now? Wednesday, let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday. This is like 6 days later. And we're still waiting for Ricky to unleash. And then, to make matters worse, he had his diary session today. He was the first housemate. And this guy's session was over 30 minutes long. And the entire time, he was, of course, purgating his emotions, which is allowed. I mean, what is the diary room for anyways, right? Fine, he was purgating his emotions. But at the same time, it started to sound like he was nagging. And to be quite honest, guys, I was kind of embarrassed for him. Because I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, dude, you are the tallest housemate this season. The tallest, the biggest, the bulkiest. And one would expect that, at least take your height to your advantage to some extent, right? The season says show yourself. So, Oga, play with your height and show yourself and do what you want to do. You keep on promising that you will begin to reveal your true colors, but it seems like for the giant that you are hiding in the shadows. You are still holding back. Why are you holding back? Because when I listened to everything he was complaining about in the diary room, I was so upset because he had valid reason to be upset, right? Now, let me stop beating about the bush. Let me tell you, he was part of the crew, to put together the play for the week's WAGER task presentation. And according to him, he got demoted off his original passion, which is directing, storytelling. So he's upset about it. He's not happy about it. And he believes that he's in the right position to occupy that space. So he wants it back. So why are you not taking it back? No particular reason, but numerous reasons. I mean, no particular reason, but numerous reasons that, and he would love to disrupt everything. He would love to scatter everything. But because he just wants to just chill, he believes the whole house is against him. He believes that most of the guys do not like him. Biggie asked him why, but it wasn't giving particular, instances as to how and why the guys do not like him. So it was all, should I say, baseless accusations, right? Or it's all in his head, or he feels like he's not really doing enough. Every other person is actually pulling their weight and also showing themselves. And he feels like he's kind of late to the party. So it just felt like what he was doing was blaming his inadequacies on other people who are already occupying space, other people who are already showing themselves, doing the most to stand out. He is not particularly doing anything to stand out. So it seems like he's pushing all the blame to the people who are already standing out. And he did the same thing too when Big Brother asked him about last night's showcase. And he was giving them excuses as to why he felt like, he didn't finish his presentation. He did not think he did not perform well. Compared to every other person's performance, he actually thought that he did well. So he was saying that, that he was requesting for extra papers so that he could write his story properly, but he could not get his request answered. And I'm like, bro, you had like 4 sheets of papers, or was it 3 sheets? and you wrote and wrote and wrote. Is it back and forth? I don't understand. Were you going to read a dissertation for all of us to listen to? Where's the time? So Ricky's diary session today was really annoying. I'm going to be frank with all of you. It was really annoying because it was all complaints. I mean, purgation of emotion, yes, but complaints. And I think at some point he mentioned Abby, who always feels like she has something to say, who always feels like she has an opinion, but then nobody demoted her. So Big Brother asked him, have you asked yourself why nobody demoted her? And he could not really answer the question properly because he saw where Big Brother was coming from, because Big Brother was indirectly telling him that, well, if you feel like Abby is always acting like she has something important to say, well, that system has worked for her because now she has occupied her own space. So there's no need for anybody to demote her. So you that feels like you're smarter than everybody else, you're getting demoted because you have not really proven yourself enough for people to trust you enough with the one task that the whole house is dependent on. The whole house's feeding and survival is dependent on. But Ricky was still, he was still standing his ground. He was still making excuses for himself. Despite the fact that Big Brother tried over and over again to encourage this young man, to make him see the reason why he should still assert himself, whilst the process is still fresh, he was still so negative, right? People even went as far as telling him that, okay, do you know that to be the star of the show, you need to also be an extra? And he said he doesn't want to be an extra, that he wants the whole WAGER rehearsal to flop so that they will lose the WAGER. He wants them to even lose, that he believes very strongly that the whole thing will flop because he's not the one handling it. Now, he gave a valid reason, as I said before, that when they asked for ideas and suggestions, he felt like the ideas that were brought, it was not solid enough. And the thing about the house is that when one or two people bring what they perceive to be strong ideas, everybody just goes with the flow and say, okay, fine. But he's that one person that is more of a divergent. He doesn't like to say yes all the time. He likes to question things. He likes to contest things. So people that asked him, okay, so what did you do about it? And what do you want to do about it now? He said he feels like, they don't want to take his own idea, so he's just leaving it. I mean, guys, I'm sorry to say, but as much as Ricky was complaining, he was giving off this lazy man energy. You have a lot of ideas in your head, but you don't want to do the work. You don't want to really impose yourself. Because whilst he was speaking, I was looking at this guy and I just could not help but do a comparison between him and Timmy and Kem. Timmy and Kem literally fought the whole house. Regardless of the fact that she was the youngest, okay, not really the youngest because Bluthopia is the youngest. She was one of the youngest and the smallest. But she still stood her ground. And even when she knew that she was wrong, she still stood in her wrongness to prove her point. But Ricky, on the other hand, dude, you're one of the oldest, but you still cannot assert yourself. Well, what are we talking about? It was so annoying. And then people that had asked him about the conspiracy hour, and that was where he was saying that he felt like everybody does not like him, that he wanted them to nominate Nomi for eviction, but then the same housemates who were offended by Nomi, they were saying that, they need her in the house because of her chaos. And he felt like, no, that they don't need her in the house because she has a very, very dark spirit. She has very, very dark energy, blah, 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 blah. She's very rude, disrespectful, which are all valid because Nomi insulted his mother, his grandmother. Nomi said a lot of nasty things on Sunday night. So he said if he had his way, he was going to evict her from the house, which is fine. But then how then do you now think that the whole house does not like you? You that everybody is friendly with, you that everybody likes. How? The part that really pissed me off the most about his diary session was when he started sounding misogynistic. He's not a misogynist, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's a difference to be one and sound like one. Ricky sounded like one when Big Brother asked him what he thought about the new head of house. And he said she's going to have issues. She's going to definitely have issues because she's a woman and women are very emotional. That he already sees it happening. That she's going to struggle a lot. I'm like, how can you be so pessimistic? Because he made it sound like women cannot be leaders. Because he was saying that, he wasn't really hoping for her to be the head of house anyways, because, women generally are just very emotional. I'm like, this guy, so you still live in the dark age where you feel like women cannot occupy leadership positions because we are too sensitive. So what then do you have to say about Chimsom Chuka's reign as head of house last week compared to Sheba's current reign that started just yesterday evening? Like, how can you be so quick to conclude? No, guys. Ricky disappointed me. He really did. Because I was almost just going crazy. Because I'm like, dude, cause chaos. If you want to disrupt. Big even asked him, do you want to be an agent of disruption? He said, not really. But he knows that before the end of the day, he's going to disrupt things. He's going to lose his mind. Oh yeah, now, before the end of the day, it's almost evening. No, it's evening actually. And he went back into the house. He was just fuming. And his anger was just festering to the point that he joined the rehearsals. I mean, the housemates already started their acting rehearsals. And the director, Martins, whom people actually voted for, it was a very transparent process, by the way. It's on Monday. Was it Monday? Sunday night. He called Ricky out to give him a role to play. Ricky already said he wanted to model. Fine. Oh yeah, now come and act a role. And Ricky was already trying to revolt. He was trying to agitate. He was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Why? Was it part of the script before? So Martins already saw that Ricky wanted to disrupt the flow of things because they were already doing fine. They were making progress. So Martins instantly said, okay, fine, you can go and sit. He said, no, I'm not going to take that. Martins was like, okay, fine, sorry, you can go back. Martins was in director's spirit. He wanted to shut down the chaos immediately. And Ricky packed his 5 legs in between his legs, his 5 tails in between his legs, and went to go and sit down. And then where he sat, he was fuming. He was boiling. Felt like he should have wanted to rise like Jupiter uprising. I was just looking at this guy like this. I'm like, bro, if you want to cause chaos, just fucking do it. Do it. Show yourself. Show that you too, you have craze in your head. I mean, Nomi went crazy, but the housemates, they are still chilling and playing with her. Timmy scattered the whole house Saturday night. People are still liking her. People are still calling her friendship. People are still saying, oh my God, she's so sweet. She's so lovable. You too, do your own madness. If they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, they don't like you. Simple and short. The highest thing to happen is they'll nominate you. Viewers will see that, okay, you stood up for yourself. And then they will still nominate you to stay, like they'll save you to stay back in the house because now they've seen that you can stand up for yourself. Simple and short. Ricky for my hand, I beg. It was so disappointing. Now, next housemate in the diary room was Timmy. And ladies and gentlemen, first impression of her diary session today was that Timmy Nkem was trying so hard to put up a show just like she did last week. Now, last week, I gave her all of her flowers, gave her all of her accolades for doing the most. It was a wonderful diary session. As a matter of fact, the best diary session of the week. But today's one seemed so forced. It was just very obvious. Yeah, she was talking about a lot of things, which Big Brother was asking about the nominations hour, asking about the showcase they did last night, asking about the mood of the house, asking about the new head of house. And of course, she was expressing her thoughts about those things. And whilst she was talking, she was like she was so seriously trying to kill a fly or an insect or whatever it was. I mean, I could not even see the thing. So it was annoying because she was not overdoing it. Like, she would be talking, in fact, the UK accent came out in full force today. Yeah, I mean, the in it, the what, okay. She was overdoing it and it was distracting. She was literally causing a lot of distractions. And so there was a bit of disconnect between myself and whatever she was saying. Because she's talking about something, people would ask her a question, she's trying to respond, and then she will not be, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it. Yes, Big Brother, as I was saying, like, come on. Come on. It was too much. It was too much. But the only time I was able to connect with her was when she started telling the story of how her mom had a bathroom accident in their home. Now, what brought about that story? She was saying that the fight that happened between Nomi and Bells, that she was so upset that if she was the one Bells had called a motherless hoe, that she would have been so angry or something like that. You know, the things that they all said. She was saying something about she would have completely forgotten about the reason she was in the house, which is the money, and she would have done what she wanted to do, and then she probably would have been disqualified. No, she was really expressing herself. She said she understands how Nomi was really close to her mom, how Nomi lost her mom, and how it feels to be a single mother. You don't even know your father. And I'm wondering, like, wait, hold on a second. Does Nomi have a child that we do not know about? What's going on here? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if Nomi really does have a child, because there's a housemate that said that there's one of them that has a child, but a child aside Shiba, so she's not going to reveal who it is. So when Timmy said that, I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Did Nomi tell you something in secret, and then you came to their room and then you opened your mouth, wow, and you said it? Hey. Anyways, she was explaining that, and then she said because of that, it has made her realize that she cannot really be vulnerable with her fellow housemates because they could likely use whatever she tells them against her, you know, because that was what Bells used to insult Nomi. So she now said, anyways, since she can't be vulnerable with her fellow housemates, Big Brother should allow her to be vulnerable with him. And that was when she went ahead to share the story of how her mom had had a bathroom accident at home. You know, the mom fell in the bathroom and she smashed her head and was bleeding really hard. And ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to say right now, it's going to come off as me being very insensitive, and it's fine. It's okay. It is okay. I don't care how you guys judge me in this moment. It is fine, but I have to say it because, of course, what do I do? Anyways, I observe and I analyze, right? So I'm going to say what I observed. Now, remember, I mentioned earlier that it seemed like Timmy was trying too hard to make a diary session a banger, just like last week. So she was trying to do the same thing again today, and she was trying extra hard. It was not giving, the spice was not spicing, you know, she was just overdoing it and it was quite distracting. So her sharing the story of her mom, it was a really sad story and it was sort of relatable. Nobody wants to see their loved one in excruciating pain. While she was talking, she was crying profusely. You know, the tears were pouring. And you know, I kind of felt like Big Brother also sensed it, that she shared that story to have a reason to cry. Because last week also, after all the shenanigans she did, she still looked for something that would make her cry, which is fine. I mean, everybody's playing their game, right? And normally when a housemate is crying, after they cry for a while, Big Brother will tell them, do you need tissues? Oh, hold a pillow. You know, that kind of thing. But Big Brother was silent. Oh God, Big Brother was silent until she finished crying the thing she wanted to cry and doing all the and then when she now rounded off the story, I must admit it was so awkward. Like the silence was awkward. It felt like you told the story, you made it look like maybe the thing happened just before you came to Big Brother's house, or maybe, you know, and then the person is fine now. And so it now made me wonder, like, okay, I thought this was like a fresh type of trauma, you know. I mean, guys, I don't know if you get what I'm coming from. Yeah. But anyways, each to their own. As I said before, it was a really sad story, but I was also relieved the way she ended it, that the mom is better now. She's fine now. She's doing okay now, you know, and she's getting there. And I really do hope genuinely from the bottom of my heart that the mom is 100% well and good. However, it just baffles me how housemates tend to use certain traumas in their lives to trying to gain public sympathy for the money. I mean, it's just to tell you that, listen, in this game, anything goes. Housemates would do anything to sway the viewers to want to keep them in the house, to save them on the show. I would love to hear your thoughts about that, so please go ahead and share in the comment section below. Now, moving on, I'm going to quickly fast forward to Owen's diary session. It was, oh God, this girl. See, it was so unfortunate for me that as of the time that girl was having a diary session, I was having my first and only meal of the day. So I was so, I don't know, I was irritated because turns out she has a bone to pick with anybody in the house that did something, I think on Sunday afternoon precisely. She was very specific about the time. According to her, she went to the toilet, opened the door and saw, you know what? And somebody had done number 2 without flushing. And she was literally giving descriptions of what it looked like. And then she was telling Big Brother that she wants to win some BB box. That's Bbnaija. That's the Big Brother money. She wants to win it so that she can buy the videotape that will expose the person who did it. And Big Brother, guys, she spends much time dwelling on this particular topic in the diary room. And Big Brother kept on asking her, okay, so of what use will it be to you? Say this is possible for you to buy this videotape. She said because they are all fine people in the house. Everybody is looking beautiful and what. When you look at their faces, you will never believe that they can do that type of a thing. So she wants to buy the video so that she can have it on record that this person that is doing fine boy or fine girl is the one that did number 2 in the toilet without flushing it. See, I almost cried because how do I finish swallowing my food after hearing that kind of information? Oh, it almost ruined my day. But you see, aside my own personal reason, she had a valid point. Because tell me, how can someone do that and then leave it without? How do you do number 2? It means you probably did not wipe yourself. Because how do you do it and then you get up and then you don't flush and then you leave? Like, don't you smell the stench? Even the smell is on you as you are. Some people are dirty. Hey, some people are dirty. And it wasn't just Owen that complained about the lack of hygiene in the house. Some of the housemates were complaining during their diary session. It was just so sad. And they'll wake up in the morning, they'll have their bath, they'll wear fine clothes, they'll come and pose on camera for us to watch them. But they're just doing the nastiest stuffs. Now, it was just really sad. Now, aside that, Owen Yin's diary session was also quite interesting. She mentioned certain people that are stepping on her toes, i.e. Nomi. Talked about how Nomi has bought her trouble and she's just waiting for Nomi to step on her toes again and then she's going to give her fire for fire. Talked about how Sheba offended her, but she loves and respects Sheba so much. And so she has added Sheba's name to a list of people she really respects in the house that if they come at her in public, she's going to talk to them in private. I want to see how that's going to work out because there's a lot of tension in the house somehow, sometimes, and Onyi is not one to hold back when she's really upset. So I really want to see if this her respect book is going to work for her or not. Now, Sultex does not like his hair. That one, he wants Big Brother to send him a professional hairstylist so that they can come and remove this thing that Bells did for him and give him something fresh. Big Brother just kept on hyping the hair that the hair is fine, go. And for me, I'm like, dude, it's as if you don't know where you are. So for you, they'll bring professional hairstylist. Think you're in your father's house. Now, on to Yusuf. Yusuf's diary session, very interesting. The guy doesn't really always have any bone of contention with anybody, but then he shared something that sort of bothered him a bit sometime yesterday with Big Brother, that some housemates are now teasing him that he is Belle's boyfriend. And, you know, he likes Belle's a lot. He enjoys her company. He doesn't want her to leave the house anytime soon. Hence the reason he had saved her during the live nominations last night, you know, but, you know, that's not what he came to the house to do now, even though he came to the show and he said during his intro that if he finds a genuine relationship, he's going to quickly latch onto it. But Big Brother, there's other things I came to the house to do now, and just Big Brother to rub his ego a bit. And guess what? This dude that, shared that with Big Brother, when he came out of the diary room, we found him cozying up with Bells, even put his head on her thighs and was chilling. I said, this one, you are married already. You don't even know you're a married man. Yesterday's proposal in my head is real. 100% real. That one is married. He's gone. But you see, also, for some reason, even though Gloria Elijah has never been a fan of shipping in Big Brother's house, I genuinely like what Yusuf and Bells have going on compared to what Gadessa and Araga has going on. When I look at Yusuf and Bells, I see flowers, I see roses, I see light, this beautiful energy that they both have. But when I look at Gadessa and Araga, there's this dark energy with these two people. It's like one person is trying to stifle the other one into loving them passionately, and then the other one is just there, like, use me for your purpose. The person I'm referring to is Godessa. It seems like Godessa just wants Araga to be tied around her finger, do whatever I want. You must love me by force. And then Araga on the other hand is, yes, look at me. Yeah, I'm going to die on your laps. And I'm sorry, but it looks like the relationship between the dominatrix and her pet, her sub. It's just, it's giving BDSM. But guys, I don't know about you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about that. Now, Neche also had a diary session, and same questions Big Brother asked housemates who had their session today. But there were some responses that she gave that I found quite interesting to mention. She mentioned that she was trying not to, fuck with Ricky and Nomi. Ricky, because she was quite enjoying the game he was playing with her in the early days, but then he showed his true colors, and so she decided to withdraw because thankfully he revealed himself, so she doesn't want that kind of energy around her. And for Nomi, she said they are cool, they're talking now. However, she has seen Nomi in a different light, which was the fight that Nomi had with Bells and the kinds of themes that was coming out of Nomi's mouth. And she said that was just so dark, and she doesn't want to have any altercation or anything like that with anybody that will mess up with her mental health. So she's threading carefully not to find herself in that position where she's going to have to be, in that kind of altercation with Nomi, so that it doesn't really mess with her head. And I totally understood where she was coming from, ladies and gentlemen, because to have such an altercation with Nomi, with her saying those kind of vile things, it would take the grace of God for you to have self-control enough to turn a blind eye, keep quiet, and just go about your day like there's nobody talking. I mean, exactly what Bells did afterwards. Even though Bells was guilty too, but it would take the special grace of God for you to just decide to just ignore the girl, right? And for those people who know the kinds of temptation that they can handle, I'm sure that they will want to just walk away instead of standing to fight back. Yeah. And then Keivo. Okay, Gerald first. Brief diary session. But I loved the fact that Big Brother gave him his accolades for his performance last night. That was really nice. I was happy that Big Brother acknowledged the hard work he did. And then finally, Keivo. Keivo's diary session was so unnecessarily lengthy. The guy was just talking about a lot of things. Of course, most of the things he was talking about were personal, about how he struggled a lot growing up, with his speech and pronouncing words. And even till date, there are some words that he finds very difficult to pronounce. Hence the reason why he doesn't necessarily enjoy engaging in public speaking that much, because he still struggles. And I love the fact that Big Brother encouraged him to, take each day at a time, learning how to pronounce those words. He also talked about Shiba's head of house reign. Big Brother had asked him to make a comparison between Chimsom's one and Shiba's current reign, and he has said that there's no difference, that they're actually the same, because something happened that he's always using the kitchen and cleaning up after himself, especially when he cooks for the whole house. But now Shiba is saying that his room should go and clean the kitchen again, and then he's going to join them to clean, and then later on he's going to cook again and then clean again. So that was really upsetting him, and he said he's going to defy her instruction because he cannot be a slave for everybody. you know, cooking for everybody and cleaning up after everybody. And what he said was really valid, because come on, at least Shiba should give him an exception. The guy is always cleaning up after everybody. I don't even know why he takes it upon himself to do that, because come, are you the house boy of the house? Like, why? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, finally, he admitted that he fancied Timmy and Kem. That even though she's problematic sometimes, that she radiates this kind energy, this sweet energy, that he feels like some people misunderstand her sometimes, but he likes her. I said, okay, fine. We shall see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear your thoughts about this Housemates Diary session as I shared. Please go ahead and, you know, contribute in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Bye.